Sponge Review! Hello and welcome to the spongiest show this side of Spongeville, Illinois. So today we are reviewing the Scotch Brite heavy duty scour pads. So these are pads, less of sponges, more pads. They say Scotch Brite on them and they come in a pack of 3. So we're gonna just do, opening impressions, yada yada. So my first impressions are, when I did the Adobe or whatever it was called that was meant for pans and stuff, they didn't feel nice in my hands because it was super scratchy, and I was afraid it was gonna be the same for this. But this is honestly less of that because you can squish it. It feels a bit weird, don't get me wrong, but not to the point where I'm like, oh my goodness, this is terrible, I'm never gonna use this, I totally don't want to use this for a long amount of time. I'm like, I could reasonably use this for a long amount of time and potentially not feel pain by the end. Maybe I will, because I haven't used it for a long amount of time so far. But so far, I'm liking it. So far, I think in your hand, because of how thin it is, you don't really have to worry about, oh, it's not a good shape for my hand, because I can just do it like this. Like that. So if you need just to get that bit right there, or I don't know. But yeah, so far first impressions, pretty neat. Now let's go to the testing stage. Now see, that got a lot more stuff, and I think overall this is actually how you're supposed to use it. So I'm going to continue using this. Now the stuff, it was pretty stuck, but now seems to actually be pretty good. And as you can see, it did take up a lot of it. So, there's 2 sides in case one side gets too dirty. I think it is supposed to be used wet, but if, for some odd reason you can't access water, it does work dry as well. And yeah, overall, pretty neat. Now let's go to the verdict. Okay, so it is verdict time. Excuse me one second. Always make sure to water your plants. They are nice. They help the air. Here we go. Real quick, I want to show you that this is the sponge I used to clean up the pan, and I got wet. And as you can see, it cleans out super well. This was less than a minute of cleaning. Pretty good. I'm going to use this non-wet one. It's not really supposed to be used when dry, but when you are just getting in there to get wet, it feels great. It actually does work pretty good when dry, which is a nice bonus in case you just can't access water at that current time. And then it's also amazing wet, feels still good in your hands. It feels exactly the same. It doesn't feel worse or better, just the same. It takes up a lot. That skillet was super dirty. I cleaned up pretty well, so I'm actually pretty impressed. For how it feels in your hands, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It is quite good. It's not the best though, I've seen better for how it feels in your hands. But you also have to think about, what is this for? This is not your normal, just a sponge kind of thing. This is to clean up a heavy area. It needs to be heavy duty. So if you're considering that, yes, it is an 8 out of 10. And then for how well it cleans up, 9.5. It is great at cleaning up. When I did the Adobe, I also used that on a skillet, and it did not work very well. When I compare it to this, I'm like, wow, this is a million times better. Overall, if you take the average of the 2 in its entirety, it is an 8.75 out of 10. The previous video got 5 likes, and I said if it got 10 likes, I would buy Just Dance 2020 for the Nintendo Wii. If this video gets 5 likes, equating to 10, I will get Just Dance 2020 for the Nintendo Wii and play it on the Wii U.